Welcome to Tinker Club. This is where we come together to share the things that we're tinkering with and learn in public. So I'm Leigh-Anne Nugent,
And I'm Micah Adler.
and welcome again to this edition. All right, Micah, what have you been tinkering with?
Oh, so I'm starting this time.
Oh, you want me to start?
Hey, you start this time.
Okay, fine. All right, we'll be mindful of the time. We want to keep this a little bit under 20 minutes or so if we can. But okay, I went to TSIA. Gosh, was that like a month ago already? I think it was a month ago. And I, like you, was like planning, what do I do for a conference? What the experience is going to be like? And then what do I do after the conference? So I put this whole strategy together where I would come up with a point of view. Oh, great. Hold on one second. I'm not in the right browser. I'll be right back. Of course, of course. Because I want to share my screen.
For sure. Oh, you're back.
I'm back. All right.
Okay.
So I created, let me duplicate this because I want to show you the other projects that I did. So I created this LinkedIn post because I was like, oh, what am I going in thinking and expecting? So I thought, okay, let's just share with the world what our intention is for this event. So I posted this. We had some hypotheses as it related to AI, field service, and knowledge management. And I was like, oh, come, let's connect. Like, we're going to be there. So just some like cute way to connect beforehand. Right. Then I had a discussion with my mentor, and he was like, it would be a good idea as a follow up for anybody who you connect with, send them a report to give
Mhm.
a taste of the way that you think and what your potential offering could be. So I spent a lot of time in Notebook LM and ChatGPT comparing the two, like what is the output of the synthesized information that Notebook LM put together? And then I would compare what did ChatGPT project do for me. And so actually the O3 model in ChatGPT, I'm really liking.
O3 model is amazing.
It's really good. I leveraged all of those things. And and then I put all of my thoughts together, spent this weekend like rewriting it and massaging it and working the language and tying things all together. And out pops a 40-page.
Amazing.
So I was like, okay, I'm going to I want like an executive summary where it's like too long, didn't read type of 2-pager thing. And so I created that. And then I got into the report. I started with an introduction, key themes and insights. I really like there was a whole knowledge management track at TSIA, but I couldn't there was so like I couldn't pay attention to it because there was so much in field service, so much in professional services, and so much in just and then technology as a service. I couldn't make the technology or the knowledge management track, but I have met with some vendors who have since then. So I'm layering like my post conference meetings with all of those vendors in here too. The amount of information was just extremely overwhelming. So thank God for AI to help synthesize all this information. And I still don't even know if people are going to read this. So I tried to break it up with some like slides and screenshots and try to make it like big font with a lot of white space. And yeah, we'll see. So now it's a matter of, okay, is this going to be consumed? That's like my big question right now. So I thought, first of all, ChatGPT, Notebook LM, it creates a Word document style for you. No images can be embedded, no graphics, like this cute thing. Like it doesn't do this for you. Like I feel like these, oh, this graphic should be this color, right? No, this color. Sorry. Like it doesn't do that for you. Is this the right color? Yes. Okay, good. And then I did this also in Canva as well to just what was the old way of leadership versus the new way of leadership? Because in order to lead these kind of innovation type of projects, it's gonna be like a whole new game. Because what we've been so used to, and I heard this on LinkedIn this morning from Brian Solis, we have been, or many people have been thinking of innovation as making better candles as opposed to making a light bulb. So looking to shift into light bulb creation as opposed to a better candle, but making a better candle is has been our jam. It's so used to that way of being, but like for an involved leadership, like you, it's a whole new way of thinking and feeling. So, anyways, that was that one. Some takeaways. I created like a maturity map for AI transformation for data, process, people, tech, and then outcomes. And here was my like last page, like tying my hypothesis back to what TSIA confirmed. And then I've got a conclusion. This is a lot of stuff. So I'm like, okay, what is the best way to digest it? So I want to show you this thing. Oh, where did it go? Anyways, what do you think about this so far?
Yeah, I think it's good. Like what you created. I have a really good idea. I don't know if you already thought of this. I'm really interested if you thought of what I'm thinking about.
Okay.
So, what would be really cool? So, you have the beautiful like report, and I think it's really important to have that. This will show that you know your stuff and that you've thought about it and you've created like a white paper. So, this is going to be your asset. So, that's
Yes, this is
amazing.
gonna be my asset, exactly.
That's amazing. The thing you could do is, and I think what you're doing here is you're presenting it. So you can go through this. And then I have an idea what you can have on, which would make it like a light bulb. Like it will make it like, oh my God. So this looks really good. This is,
I don't know whether I should take it to this level, and because I think that this might make it a little bit more accessible. It's because it's also fun and, like,
I like it.
easier to flip through, right? I like this a lot better too than just like a scrolling kind of PDF experience, right?
Yeah, no, 100%. I like it. The only issue is you need to log in. If you don't, then that's
No,
better. Okay.
no,
So
yeah.
th- this is better.
I did purchase this before because I did put an ebook on here, but I didn't really get any sellers, like any buyers from it. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna just scrap it because I don't want to pay the license fee anymore. But I'm thinking maybe I could just try it again and see for this context. But again, it's from a marketing perspective. So it's like a sunk cost kind of thing.
Yeah. Eh, you could. I think it looks a lot better. I like the aesthetic. I use,
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
um,
Thanks.
but it will be a cost benefit, like in terms of how much it costs in terms of what you gain.
Definitely. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's what I've been tinkering with. I've been working on this report for 3 weeks, and then finally I'm like, I gotta get this delivered because I'm now thinking of the next things. So I need to clear the deck and actually publish something before, yeah, starting something new. That's like I love starting new things. I hate finishing them. So my reward for starting something new is to finish it. Like I gotta just finish it. So that's where I'm at.
So
So
this is
there's gotta be a better way to do this.
so this is super cool. So I would just keep one, I would give people the format of the PDF because you have it.
Yeah.
So that's something for them to take away. And even you can put it on your website and have
Yes.
people download it with email or whatever it may be. So you can give people's information. But the other thing you could do is so go to ChatGPT if you could.
Okay.
So we'll do a live demo.
Okay.
Go to if you go to the GPTs,
Mhm.
that uh-huh. And then you go to create. So create a new one.
Okay. I've got like I can create. Okay.
So then it would be the name of the conference and like summary or some.
Oh, that's a great idea. I could
Yeah,
create this as an add-on, upload all of the knowledge files.
yeah,
Oh, that's brilliant.
yeah.
So what should I say? Tinker bot TSIA, something like that.
Or yeah, or spell out with TSIAs because I have no idea what that is, but
Yeah, I'll do that in here. Hold on. Part of the thing that I'm going to do this.
yeah, that. So that's an intro or that's a description. Yeah, perfect.
Okay, so let's make it shorter. Okay, I'll just do this for now.
Yeah.
Upload file.
And then yeah, just upload the entire PDF. Yeah.
Okay.
And so when once you create it and you make it public, the cool
Yeah.
thing about it is it becomes another asset of yours. And
Yeah.
you can see over time if people actually, you can't see who, but you can see how many people
Oh, okay.
look at it. And it becomes like an asset that it can live on. So this could be the first one. And you could theoretically have, do you want to visit any of the conferences that I visited in the future?
This is weird. I asked it to create the conversation starters for me, and it's like doing it from the lens of wouldn't it be other way around? I don't know. Let's just see what it is. I'm gonna just create a couple.
There should be a place, if you look at the bottom area, where you
Yeah.
give it instructions.
Yeah, this is where I'm doing the instructions.
So those instructions should say also what viewpoint that it should
I see what you're saying. I
yeah.
see exactly what you're saying. Okay, okay. So you are a trusted advisor that is meant to provide inspiration and spark innovation.
And as you find, you'll see that like you can provide some instructions and it may come out as you expect or it may not.
Yeah,
So later on you see, oh, that's not exactly what I wanted, or it's not
yeah,
showing from the point of view that it should, then you
yeah.
just fix the instructions. Another thing you could do is if it's like writing way too much or it's like
Mhm.
overwhelming, you can just say, hey, just speak briefly, nicely, and don't,
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
yeah, because otherwise it's just going to talk forever.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, be curious in your responses. Okay, let's see. So I have a couple already that I've used. Okay, let's just see what it says. I just want to have a couple conversation starters. Yeah, perfect. Now there you go.
Yeah.
That's the one. You nailed it, my friend.
Anyway, and yeah, this is so easy to set up and then put in the wild.
Yep.
And this is something you created. So like the
Yeah.
data you're providing, you created that and it's your asset. So it makes sense.
This is cool. Let's just start with these ones. This is really good.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, my friend. Let's see, create. And then I can put that at the end of it and say, if you'd like to engage with our bot, ooh, and then I should have in the instruction contact.
Yeah.
Oops. And then I'll just put my booking one.
Yeah. So that's, I think this will add value to it and people can quickly connect. And then you're also teaching them something like they,
Exactly.
yeah.
Love it. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll put that at the footer. Okay. So what have you been up to?
Like exactly what you did. So I went to some conferences. So I'm trying to figure out, I'm like 3 weeks before. So like where you were 3 weeks before.
Yeah.
So before the actual conference, I did my due diligence, reached out to people, did some planning. And now what I'm doing is I'm doing your, oh, how do I take all this information and
Exactly.
consolidate it? So I'm going to show you a different way that you use some way of consolidating it. I'm using a different way of consolidating it.
I
So
want to
you
know how you're consolidating for sure.
so you used what is it called? Google Note LM, right? Google
Yeah.
Note
Notebook
LM.
LM.
So then I'm using instead, so I'll share my screen here. So instead I'm using Chat GPT. And what I'm doing is, wait, hold on.
You created a project in ChatGPT?
Yeah. So
Yeah, I did both. Like I compared the outputs of each. And I think what I ended up liking the output of Notebook LM better. But then in terms of the language and how it read, I refined each section through the project.
Yeah. The,
Yeah, I did exactly that. Project files, I have my instructions. In fact, maybe the instructions that I have for my GPT should match the instructions that I have for my project.
yeah, which would refine it. The,
Yeah, that's right. Refine it. Okay.
so yeah, so I did this. The reason I did this, and I did briefly look at Notebook LM,
Mm,
was that it separated the data in Notebook LM is separated out into its own little ecosystem, which
mhm.
is cool. But and you could do various things like within Notebook LM, you could have theoretically created a podcast from there, and that would be neat. So it's good. But all of my data is here. So this is good for me in terms of, oh, but I wanted to know or I want to know some insights about the Build Good Summit recap or the Build Good Summit ACF and what did I learn and how could I apply it?
Mm.
Those kind of things. My knowledge base is here. So in that way, I think it's helpful for me. I put in documents like instructions of information and you
Well, sorry, want to just interrupt you for a second. The project files, I actually sat in a session and I recorded the session.
yeah,
You did that too?
sometimes I did it. I
Yeah.
like it was really important for me not to run out of battery on my phone, but I
Oh, fair
did.
enough.
So I used actually, I was going to show this as well. So there's an app called Granola AI, which is really cool for
Oh,
recording.
is it good? I didn't use that one. I used on my iPhone, there's like just the recorder
Yeah.
and like voice notes. And it's like I can copy the transcript and then that's I pasted it into GPT to clean it up, chat GPT to clean it up so that it's readable. And I had to tell the darn thing, don't summarize it and don't give me your feedback on it. Just clean it up as it is. It's
Yeah.
like needed a lot of coaching that one for that one.
So this one is pretty advanced. It does it well. It's clean. You can record during specific, like when you're doing this kind of call as well, you can record. It's good for out in the field as well. It seems like a good app. And there's a free version. So if you look in pricing, there's a free trial, and then there's other things. I think $18 is exorbitant, like it's
Mm,
too much. But I've just been using the free version, and it's fine.
okay.
So yeah, I did that. And then the other thing is when you have the chat, so I dropped all of the actual presentations into Google Drive, so you can connect to Google Drive and then
Perfect.
reference the presentations. So all the information is there. So there's notes, there's presentations, there's background information. And then just to give you an example, so I asked it to build a summary of the first day or just create a summary of the first day. And it did. So it said, this is like what was during the opening keynote, who did it, and like all the information about the workshops, and it just gave me a really good quick summary. And then what I could theoretically do is if I want to delve further into each of the workshops, I can just
Mm,
add the Google Drive part where all of the workshops are located, and I can add that and say, hey, how does this, was this a useful conference for my work with anyone, sorry, anyone can fundraise, and fundraise, and then like it will answer looking at the documents here, and then it will give me a precise. O3 is really good, like you said,
okay.
and you can see X18, which is funny. And sometimes it's this guy's trying to ask me what, and I don't totally get it, but okay. So O3 shows you that thinking process.
Yeah, I like that too.
But when it says, what the heck is this guy asking me? It's funny. And it takes a little bit of time. So that's the caveat. But eventually it looks through the documents I put here, it looks through the entire memory. So
Oh,
everything that
yeah,
I have
that's right.
in ChatGPT. So that's very useful. and then it will compile something. It also looks at the internet and stuff. So I think that's useful. It says, yeah, it was unusually well matched. So yeah, so for anyone can fundraise and it's going to tell me why.
Wow.
Yeah, so that it consolidates your life. Yeah, so this is what I'm doing. This is the initial step, and I should really think about what you did and figure out the highlights and what really worked for me in terms of a report. It's a little bit different, the nature of the actual summit. So
Mhm.
I may do something a little bit different, but that seems like good steps. So that is what I did here. And then I did some other tinkering. So I'll show you that really quick.
Okay.
So one of the things that I had created was the coffee shop.
Oh yeah, that's
Remember,
right.
I talked about
Yep.
last week. So I found this really cool application. So Google had this amazing event last week. I think it's called Google I/O, and they just introduced new function after new function that is just crazy. So what this is called JUULs. It's in beta and it's free to use. Basically, what you do is you have your application and you can connect it to JUULs and you give it basically a like certain tasks. Can you make the code cleaner? Can you go through the entire code that I had created and make it more beautiful, make the more beautiful, and it will go and do it.
Wow.
Yeah, which is it's mind blowing. The it works and it does what you want it to do. It's a little bit like a black box. There is the code here and what they've changed. So that's cool. And I think it's going to be useful. There's a similar thing called Codex for
That's okay.
ChatGPT that they also introduced. That costs $200.
Oh, okay.
And this is free. And people say that's okay as well. So anyway, so like this is a good thing. You can play with it. And basically all you need to do is connect your GitHub project to this and it will go. So if you're vibe coding and you create something, you say, okay, but I want it to be more beautiful and more secure, whatever. I think this is a good way to play around with it.
Wow.
And this will only get better. So it's like Google has Gemini
Yes.
2.5, I think now, and it's just like it's going to improve over time. So there's
Wow.
this JUULs. And then the other one, which is really cool, is called Stitch. So they announced this as well. It was people didn't really hear about it. Basically, what it is, Figma on steroids. So it's just like
Mm.
it will create beautiful designs for you.
Wow.
So it created this design. So I said, I want a coffee shop, right? And I want you to create the designs, and it can create all the designs, and then you can upload them. And basically, when you're coding or having the AI code in whatever application, you give them these designs and you're going to have a much more clear view of what it's eventually going to become.
Wow.
Yeah. And this literally, it took one prompt. So this, sorry, it took one prompt. So this was a prompt and that's it. And it created all of this.
That's amazing.
It's, yeah,
It really is pretty too.
it's beautiful. It just, this is where we are.
So then from this, can this be then uploaded to Cursor or Lovable and say, build what you built based off of this
Yeah.
prototype?
Yes.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yes. So instead
Okay.
of like trusting the lovable AI, you can say, hey, this is what I want.
Exactly. This is what I want it to look like.
Yeah.
That's fabulous.
Yeah. So that those are the two things that I wanted to show. There's so many more. It just it would be overwhelming, but I love this stuff. It just yeah,
It's fun for you.
it's
Yeah,
fun for
exactly.
me. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's how I was feeling too, like doing all this copy paste and like, how do I actually structure this document? I debated, do I use Lovable for this? But I was like, this doesn't seem like the right application for this. So as our tool belt increases with all the tools, like that's really the question we have to be asking for ourselves. Like for this use case, what tool is the right tool so that we, yeah, make the most of our tools and our time. But it was cool. And then I think it's worthwhile to always just validate because the tools that we have in our toolkit are constantly evolving. It would be interesting to see what could Google Vids now do with this document. Now, what could, and just keep trying it out to just see what each tool does with that PDF or whatever it is. Yeah, the tinkering never stops. And now I'm going to go head off to a meeting.
That's a good thing.
Yes, it's a good thing. All right. Great session today. Thank you, Micah. And we'll talk again.
Bye bye.
Bye.